Hello, YouTube. This is me reacting live. And I've held in all this internalization on Stranger Things Season 5, Part 1. It was fantastic for everybody that watched it in my home. Netflix knocked it out of the park with Part 1. The deck is stacked for all the parties. It's nuts, man. From the build up to the finale of this section, it was great. I'm gonna actually talk about it in the order of importance that I want to talk about it, because there's some things that's probably on your minds as you're coming to get the opinion of people on the internet about it. But if you haven't watched it, spoiler warning, I have, and it was great. So if you don't need any other validation from the internet, go watch it and then come back to me and then hear what I have to say about it. I want to say the first thing that's on my mind is how they had Vecna hidden until his big revelation. He was walking like he was cocky. He was very strong. He'd learned from his mistakes. He feels invincible. The idea. This is live on Twitch too. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Damon. Thank you, Joey, for renewing your sub. Rest in peace to your streak. Yes, Fluffy Bean. He is an excellent bad guy. But his revelation was really epic, and there's a lot of character shown in these episodes too. But I want to work my way back. A lot of people want me to start with episode 1. I'm working my way back because that's the meat and potatoes. You're not going to go look at reviews unless you finished it. So I want to talk about the elephant in the room. If you haven't watched it, this is your last warning. I predicted a lot of this, by the way. But we'll get to that. Will the Sorcerer finally getting his debut? It's been brewing for a long time that he was going to be able to break bad, and I'm so glad he finally did it. He wasn't afraid of himself anymore, and he got his telekinesis on finally. He got a multi-kill of Demogorgons at the same time. So it makes you wonder who's going to be the biggest threat to Vecna at the end. Is it going to be Will? Is it going to be 11? Is it going to be number 8? Is it going to be Max? I predicted a lot of the things that went down. Now, I called it yesterday on the stream that Mike and Nancy's dad would be first down. I thought he'd be dead, but he lived, and so did the mom. But I wasn't too far from wrong on that. He went down. I thought he'd go down like a badass, but he just used the golf club. Mama Bear went a little harder in the paint than he did, but they're not dead yet. Nobody's took a nosedive yet. Hello, Ravenous. So they were safe. So we still don't know who's out of the picture yet. So I called Max being the person helping out Holly way early on. My wife will vouch for me. It was just kind of, it's obvious. This is the last season. There's not going to be any new characters revealed. It's just going to be revelations for all these, build up plot points. So Max her consciousness being in the other side made perfect sense. But there's a whole lot of things that's left that hasn't been talked about yet, like by the show. And that's why he's afraid of that cave. Could have been where, he got his powers. I don't know. You never know. We'll find out why Vecna is afraid of that cave. We'll find out what 8 and 11 is going to do together. We'll find out if the Linda Hamilton's character is as bad as we think she is, but I don't know. Who knows? Because at the same time, Vecna did something crazy and wiped out all the military. Like, he killed every member of the military in that freaking episode, almost, in a hilariously, like, overpowered way. 8 bullets. Like, pulled pins out of grenades, threw people, just effortless stuff. He just tossed people to the side. There was a lot of plot armor. That was my only problem. There's a lot of plot armor. Like, he left a lot of people alive that he probably could have just snapped his finger and been done with. But, you know, that's one thing shows always have a hard time portraying, and books have a hard time portraying, is how to keep people alive. But Will getting his powers was the highlight. Obviously, they ended on that note. Him taking care of business. Damon Van Dalen with the gifted subs on Twitch. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. I'll have to add these times. Let me just run the timer. Screw it. Let me add. Actually, I'll add the time. 1, 2. Thank you so much. And then I gotta add 6 for Joey. I don't want to wait a month either, Barry. I really don't. Coming out on Christmas Day is going to make Christmas that much more special this year. My favorite part of the entire first half was them setting up traps at the rich people's house. That was like peak. If you've ever been a fan of the Lost Boys or any like Monster Squad, or like, you know what I mean, that same kind of vibe. Them terrorizing a freaking house and trapping it up for a Demogorgon was so nice. And them driving through the neighborhood, tracking the thing. I like how they've weaponized with knowledge, and the fact that Dustin Henderson is the smartest. Him and Lucas's sister's the smartest people out of the whole organization. And what's his name? The truck driver, Hopper's friend. Yeah, that's funny just to see how much intellect shined the whole time. You know what I mean? Murray, thank you. Intellect and willpower drove a lot of momentum for these episodes. There's a lot of like focusing on inner strength. You thought that was Eddie? Oh no, I knew it was Max immediately. It was written way too well for it to not be anybody else. You have a question? Go ahead. Steve kind of being a dickhead again. Steve's in character. Steve is himself. That's the thing. If you're thinking that Steve is offending me, Steve he's the only guy, he transformed in season 1 and he's been Steve ever since. He's always been Steve. He politely bro checked Jonathan and was like, listen, if you don't fix things, I'm moving in. That was a pretty cool moment. Told Jonathan to straighten it up, or, you know what I mean? In his own way, he was like, if you don't make things right with Nancy, it's my turn. That was a really cool moment between those two guys. Do you think the tension they tease between Steve and Dustin is them foreshadowing the downfall of both of them in the end? It's foreshadowing Steve's death. If you want my honest opinion, Steve will die defending Dustin. Because Dustin, the actor who plays Dustin, unless it's a fake out death, you know what I mean? One of those like, oh my God, he made it anyway. The actor who plays Dustin, Glenn Bazar or whatever his name is, like him reacting to Eddie's death was amazing. Like, I hated Eddie, dying in the show, but whatever. It happened. Welcome back, Ed. Gayton. That's his name. Why did I say Glenn? You guys keep blessing me. Thank you, Joel. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody that's watching this, by the way. It's absolute cinema, Bradley. Absolute cinema. Everybody that's saying absolute cinema, it was great. You're in a safe place. You could talk about it here if you want to talk about it here. It's not like you're not going to spoil anything for everybody. I've warned everyone. If you're in here, you're going to get spoilers for Stranger Things season 5, first 5 episodes. But what I'm wondering is who or how many people are going to be the people that get killed off in the show to rally for the final battle. Like, Jonathan clearly has stakes with an engagement ring. Feel like he might be safe. Steve might be dead though. Hopper is definitely dead. Hopper's dead. I've been claiming Hopper's death forever. Nancy's parents might be safe somehow, or the dad may get revenge. You never know. But as long as Will is around, the Demogorgons ain't shit, dude. He pulled a Vecna. He broke their arms. Steve, Lucas, and Robin. Robin might bite it too, but that would be kind of a lame thing. But she got a lot of lines for some reason. Who's Knack? I think Vecna is going to eat it myself. Steve's going to sacrifice himself for Nancy to impress her. Yeah, maybe. Robin will make it. You think they'll take out Robin's girlfriend? Robin has played a big part for Will specifically. Yeah, for the transformation, but you never know. They may kill her off. Yeah, totally. Max and Holly's probably coming back. But we didn't, if you aren't aware, nobody died other than crazy amounts of military members. Thank you guys for this hype train, by the way. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Damon, again. Thank you, Monica, for renewing your sub. I need to add more time. I guess we're using this as a buffer. Six minutes. There we go. That guitar in the background, I love it. You like it? Me too. Spectrum came and looked at my internet today, guys. They didn't fix it. I mean, it's still fine, but it needs fixed. My upload's really bad. It's like a fifth of what I need, but 200 uploads still fine for doing this, but I need more. Lucas did not die. Plot armor. He's not dead yet. I think, why not a rider? Plot armor. Like, Joyce just was immune to damage. But again, Will was mind controlling that Demogorgon, so she was safe in that moment. But Vecna was like, nah. I don't know. Now that we've seen Joyce in the old memories of Vecna, we'll find out why Joyce is still alive, though, because clearly they went to school together or something. You never know. There's a lot to it, though. What do you think about bringing back the sister? Yeah, they couldn't not do that. Otherwise, season 2 would have been for absolutely nothing. I feel like 8, though, doesn't have any emotional ties to anybody unless they bring up somebody new. She's very much a different race or different like nationality than Linda Hamilton's character. Linda Hamilton's too old to be their mother. Definitely not a grandmother. So they've just caught her in the wild. So their intentions will be revealed later. It's been hinted that they're antagonistic, but it may be the enemy of my enemy is a friend type thing after Vecna wiped out everybody. Vecna was eating every kind of shot you can imagine. He may have been slowing them down with telekinesis. He was eating shotgun blasts, freaking 50 cals, flamethrowers. He's like, I'm fine. So what it's going to take to kill Vecna is full-on telepathic battles. Yeah, Jen, if you haven't watched it, this is your warning. 8 will be the wild card. I think 8 will be fodder. But yes, they'll build a bond or whatever. She'll probably kill over and 11 will get supercharged again or something. Or they'll team up and I don't know. Who knows? I don't see 11 dying though. Hopper will die to make sure that 11 doesn't. But Hopper's dead. But I was wrong about Nancy's family. I was wrong. But I was almost right. I mean, what do you do, though? If you see a monster that's like 8.5 feet, 9 feet tall in your house, and all you have is a freaking golf club, what do you do? He hit it, at least. She got it worse than the dad. Yeah, she definitely got it worse than the dad. So there's a chance he'll come back and do some fighting. But I don't know. He walked straight out of the Upside Down to make sure that he got them kids. He walked straight out, sealed the deal, and walked straight back into the Upside Down with all of them. So whatever they're going to need, they got it. He made sure of it. But the moment that Vecna left, Mike almost dying to Will. Will is a secret, love interest, right? That's not been shot away from. He did that to protect all of his friends, though. Jonathan's going to propose. Yes, Jonathan will propose. Hopefully it's not too late, though. I feel like he gets a little bit of plot armor now, though, Jonathan. I feel like all the buyers should probably get some plot armor at this point. But Steve, I think Steve is gone. Hopper is gone. I thought the little dipshit kid was hilarious. I think Murray's dead. I think 8 will be dead. Ted wasn't Abby, yeah. But it's going to be nice seeing 11 and Will teaming up and just shitting on people. Robin might. Robin, the vote's out for Robin. Linda Hamilton's character is dead. Super dead. It's clear Holly's getting out of there. Lucas might die for a Max too, though. But yeah, Hopper, I was ready for him to go in there and blow up whatever he was going to blow up. I don't want Lucas to die. Hope they don't have a Sopranos ending. I've never seen The Sopranos. I feel like Mac's going to be stuck there. No, there's an episode that's Escape from whatever the hell it's called. So we've got what's the episode lists? Since we're talking about it, we have a Discord channel where we can talk about this kind of shit, guys. No. Where's my episode list? So we've got Shock Jock. That'll be Steve. Escape from Camazotz. That's Max and Holly. The Bridge. That'll probably be a lot of people going to the the Upside Down. And then the Right Side Up is the last episode where clearly Vecna loses and whatever happens. So, Shock Jock. I feel like that's Steve. It's either Steve or Lucas. They're both jocks. But how cool is it Lucas defending those children? My man. And Robin. And Murray. You know what I mean? And Mike. Dude, Mike. Leadership. So in the trailer, the red swirling above the lab is going to be the bridge. 11 will use that to break down the walls. I can't wait to see Dustin and the gang going to Hawkins' lab and seeing what shape it's in the Upside Down. You never know. It's exciting, guys. It's so exciting. Thank you guys for the hype train, by the way. Well, the penultimate episode is where a lot of bad things happen. And then the last episode is where we get our payoff. You know, they'll probably do one more big death. Weren't the episodes supposed to be 2 hours long? That was false. They're pretty long though. But it's exciting. I hate waiting an entire month almost. You think there's a chance Vecna wins in the end? No. Vecna will lose, but the thing is he's already created the Upside Down. So we are going to get spinoffs. What he's done will remain. Unless there's a deeper, like, lore that they want to establish within the next little bit. It may be why he's afraid of the cave, or what's on the other side of the cave, or whatever. You never know. There may be something more strong than him out there. But as far as D&D goes, Vecna's the strongest. What do you think, Malachi? How we're going to wait a month for more? Dude, it being on Christmas Day, they're making some very smart decisions as a company, getting people where they're going to be at home to watch this stuff. This will be record-breaking television. Do you think Eddie is alive? I think Eddie is undead. I think we'll see Eddie. We'll see Barbara. We'll see Max's brother. We might even see Samwise. You know what I mean? Bob. Vecna's got to have an army, because like Vecna's not going to stand against Will, against 11, Max, and 8 on his own. And not to mention Nancy with a shotgun, you know what I mean? And Hopper and Jonathan and Mike and the gang, Lucas. They're all relentless. Dustin, they're all relentless, and they want him dead. There's too much at stake. Netflix crashed for a few hours for a few people because of this. Dude, I bet it was in the millions and millions and millions of views. Absolutely in the millions. Had you guys already finish? Just finished the first episode? It dropped at 8 p.m. Eastern. By the way, if you're new here, press the follow button, guys, on YouTube. I'd love to have you join. We are horror content, and we love science fiction. I'm a published author, published musician, 6 years full-time content creation through live streaming. Here's one thing you guys might not have noticed. Thank you, Barry. One thing you guys might not have noticed is some of the big names for the production team for this one. Did you guys know that the guy who created the TV series of The Walking Dead, not the comic, I know that he didn't create the comic, but Frank Darabont, the guy who spearheaded bringing The Walking Dead to life on TV, was the director for, I think, episode 2 or 3, maybe more. I don't know, but he directed an episode. The dude is a genius. So, like, they've done everything right with this show. Linda Hamilton, as you know, being in Terminator, like, how more 80s can you get? We're totally talking Stranger Things spoilers. The fact that Levi got the last episode, and his episodes were the same episodes in the past for Bob and Eddie and Barb and the other one brother all died. It's going to be a bloody episode. Yes. Episode 3 stuck out for me. Yeah. I think episode 3 had a lot going on for it. You're speechless. Dude, right? How badass was it to see Will like being a badass? He moried all the Demogorgons. He moried all of them at the same time across time and space. And then he wiped his nose like it wasn't shit, dude. You know how good that felt for him to not be afraid anymore? Is no one talking about Jonathan wanting to marry Nancy? It's plot armor, and I love it. I think it's nice that they, you know what I mean, that they're married in real life. And you want to hear something even crazier that nobody probably realizes in this moment? The stunt actors, the stuntmen and women or whatever, the people who do the stunts for Jonathan and Nancy are actually together too. Now tell me that ain't some shit. Did you guys know that? I found that out like 2 days ago. I want Jonathan to make it though. Because here's why. The beef between Jonathan and Steve is amazing. I love it. Steve is standing on business that he's going to take his girl, and Jonathan's not letting it happen. That's what's so good about it. Steve is a pimp, dude. He is the man. And Jonathan's like, no. But he's been running neck and neck against a guy who is like a jock on all levels. He's a badass. Granted, he's kind of a dick sometimes, but like it's him. You think Will's getting a girlfriend? I mean, there's a chance, but I doubt it. No, he'll confess to Mike or whatever, and he'll accept him for who he is, but it's like, that's it. You're Amber Flower, you're correct. 100%. And there's not been a dragon shown yet either. We've not seen a hint of the dragon, but the dragon, I agree that there will be a dragon behind the wall. We'll talk. Yeah, Will wants Mike for sure. 100%. They're, you know, that's who he wants to be with, but it's going to be one of those things. It's like, I love you for who you are, but me and 11, you know. Can we just talk about how everyone was shit talking episode 16, season 2, when I was saying it was going to be important? No one believed me. Stand on business, Natalie. Yeah, it's Magneto helmet with a zombie on it. Yeah. Will might stay in the upside down to make sure this doesn't happen again. Nick, that's an interesting take. Yeah, Eddie will be riding a dragon, I think. Millie Bobby Brown did all the last season while being pregnant. No, they adopted. She hasn't given birth to a child yet. Hello, kiddo. Right? Max is still alive. Yeah, Max has been alive. There's a dragon behind that big ass wall. Yes, there's a dragon. Yeah, so she changed her name legally to Millie Bonnie Bon Jovi, because her name isn't actually Bobby, Millie Bonnie. So it's Millie Bonnie Bon Jovi, but they adopted together. And to hear Bon Jovi talk about it, he's like, that's my family. Like immediately he was like, I'm here for this child. And buyers love wheelers. All right, question. Chill. It's not time for Mariah Carey. Let me ask you a question though in chat. This might be controversial, but hear me out. Do you think that Nancy deserves to be with Jonathan or Steve? Are you hashtag team Jonathan or hashtag team Steve? A lot of people in my chat are mad at Steve this season. I, for one, am team Jonathan. Jonathan had a really bad season in season 4.
Hey, guess what?
What?
It's time.
Go sit down.
No, he didn't let me finish.
What?
It's time for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving time. Tell everybody happy Thanksgiving and then go sit down. Okay, chill out, kid. Of the two, Jonathan, I know this will be okay if neither. Steve, the mom. They're dating in real life. They're engaged. Yes. So anyway, the reason I asked that, I prefaced that the way that I did, is because I think that it's going to be a whole lot cooler, even if it wasn't intended by the Duffer Brothers. I think it would be a whole lot cooler since they fell in love in real life, that Jonathan and Nancy make it to the end, are together, and they cement this as the moment of their relationship. Because, like, we didn't get that with Jon Snow and the wildling chick. She got killed, like, immediately. But now they're married. You know what I mean? It breaks the fourth wall, rather, and makes it more real to me if they were to get together. The guy who plays Jonathan is going to be in a movie with Al Pacino, or he's already been in one, and it's getting like 9 stars on IMDb. So this whole cast is just so talented. It's still crazy to think that Will has powers like 11. No.
That's what I said.
It's not that Will has powers like 11. Will has powers like Vecna.
Yeah.
That's even crazier to me.
Yeah.
But Vecna is on a whole nother level, though. That's the thing people need to realize. It was nice to see Will do that. It's nice to see Will do that. It is very nice. But that's how much of a threat that Vecna will be when it comes time. Can you move the guitar away where they keep picking up on the mic? But now we get to see what they've done with 8. 8's been tested on or something. Her head was shaved. She's been stuck in a room, locked away with these things blasting at her. So she's going to be crazy powerful. Vecna can heal gunshot wounds.
I wonder if Will could heal, what's his name?
Oh, Lucas? No, it's... So, I don't know. I don't think that Will is going to be bad. I think that what happened is... Here's what I think happened. I think that Vecna tossed Will to the side. Thinking he wasn't going to do anything. He said, I'm going to reshape the world because you're weak and all this stuff. And it finally broke Will to be like, no, I've actually figured out something that you're not aware of. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a nice underdog story. Yeah, he has adapted powers based on what he's been exposed to. What would have been a nice thing of weakness, did Will get powers, or can Will use Vecna's powers? I mean, it's. I don't think that Will has Vecna's powers. It's just he's more like Vecna than 11. 11 is just pure raw telekinesis. I don't see 11 particularly going after and mind controlling Demogorgons. And we'll find out if she can, but it's not been shown that she could do that specifically. Like, yeah, that's true. So she hasn't been able to do that. She can't track them. So that's specifically something Will's doing and Vecna's doing. Why does Vecna spare the parents? Plot armor. Plot armor. That's not like, if you've watched enough TV, there's a lot of plot armor. Hello, gorgeous. Stephen Hopper are going to sacrifice themselves. Well, I don't know if he'll make it because he still hurts when the Demogorgon gets hurt. So he might die when Vecna dies. I don't know. What I think what's going to happen to Will, I think Will's going to use the Demogorgon army against Vecna. But 11 will kill Vecna. 11 will be the death blow. But however, there's one more thing to that. It could be Eddie that kills Vecna. Because in the lore of Dungeons and Dragons, the character that Eddie is supposed to turn into, yes, gorgeous. The character that Eddie's supposed to turn into, like the vampire character in D&D, is who kills Vecna. So they've said Eddie's not coming back. Well, it's not actually Eddie anymore. It's a different character.
Oh, that's true.
Does that make sense? So, like, everybody's saying Eddie's not coming back. Well, yeah, duh, he's not coming back. It's not going to be Eddie anymore. He's going to be a vessel. He's going to be a Vecna's army. Same as Barbara. Same as Max's brother. Maybe Bob. I don't know about Bob, though. I want Bob to come back. And the internet may know if he showed up and shot scenes. You know, if they've tracked, you know how people are on the internet, they see if somebody's done anything like, oh, that this person was spotted filming whatever, and they tie it all together. That sucks. So much to the point that Netflix had to do things and shoot different endings for Cobra Kai because of leaks. I want Bob to come back as a bad guy. But then again, Bob and Joyce were a thing. So Bob may not even come back because like Hopper filled that role of a love interest. But that's the only person he could bring back. If Eddie were to come back, I feel like he would have been at the premiere. No. Duffer Brothers are good at what they do. They're good at what they do. You literally cried and was so hyped at the end of episode 4. It was fucking good, wasn't it? Like, that's all I can say. But there's a lot of plot armor. A lot of people aren't grasping at that. Vecna could have killed Joyce in an instant, but he spared her. We'll find out why, you know. But the parents making it through a Demogorgon attack, like, plot armor. We'll find out why, though. The kids might defeat Vecna since they were doomed to the same fate as Will. Maybe. But the theory of Vecna using those kids to expand the Upside Down outside of Hawkins, that's gonna be awesome. When Hopper said I love you, Jane, I thought bro was, oh yeah, no, that's the thing. That fake death by Hopper was purely because they are mentally preparing us for what's about to happen to him. Like, I hope you guys are ready for Steve and Hopper's demise. It's written, their characters are written that way. What do you think is going to happen with Max and Holly? They're going to get out. But I don't know. Yeah. What happened in the last scene of episode 4? Will broke bad in an amazing way. Well, also the last day of Rap was each character's last day to help drop the spoilers. That's true. Well, the guy who plays Eddie, everybody worried if Eddie's going to come back or not. The guy who plays Eddie is actually, like, he's on Disney's payroll now. Just like Hopper, you know. David Harbour. Like, they're both on Disney's payroll for Marvel superhero stuff. So, like, they don't have to be at these premieres. Now, David Harbour owes a lot to Stranger Things, as they all do. But, yeah, Joseph Quinn. That's his name. Joseph Quinn, like, it would be a failure on their part to not bring him back and a failure not to bring back Max's brother. Because, like, they've already showed when they were talking about, again, if you haven't watched this is filled with spoilers. But Max being stuck in the fake world, the prison that Vecna's created, and being forced to relive all of her troubled moments. We've already seen her relive a lot of moments with her brother. That makes me think he's going to come back. Because if Max is still alive, and Max will probably have powers, other than Lucas and her friends, like, is there anything that could be more of an inspiration for her to succeed than, like, it'll draw more emotion out of the entire scene if her brother's opposing her and not wanting to do it, just like it's going to be with Eddie, and there's going to be an Eddie versus Dustin moment. Because, like, I know that Eddie's coming back. You know why? Because he's wearing the Hellfire Club shirts to school. Oh, she's totally not dead. No, Max is not dead. No, her consciousness needs to come back. Will cook 3 demos at once. He sure did. Like a badass. Will 11, Callie team up versus Vecna and Max. I think Max will get powers too. Max, her eyes turned white as she died and was seeing the other side, the prison or whatever. Thank you, Barry. I think Max will have powers too. Max was levitating as Vecna was trying to kill her in the cemetery. Max was levitating in the house when Vecna was trying to kill her. There's no way she doesn't have powers now. And Sadie Sink is like killing it as an actress. What if Dustin is the one that makes Eddie snap back to normal and Eddie kills Vecna? See, that's cinema. Because that's what Dustin is there for. Dustin is the like, I know that Eddie played an instrument, but Dustin is very much the bard of this party. Because Will's the sorcerer. Mike is definitely the knight, right? What was Holly? Holly the heroic? She's a cleric, right? Lucas is clearly a barbarian. So I don't know. What else is Dustin but the bard? You hate how Will has powers, dude? That was foreshadowed way early. Oh yeah, Dustin's got plot armor for days. He'll never kick the bucket. Dustin's mom may be in danger, you know. Easy word that Willow was daddy in episode 4. Yeah. Holly the heroic. Yeah. She's a cleric. So it makes you wonder if all the people that get touched like by the powers of Vecna, if after he touches them, they get things. Like they get powers or, you know, imbued. And what's nice is they're going to build a bigger universe out of everything that happened in this show. So we're getting a lot of opportunities for world expansion because they announced a spinoff yesterday? They announced a spinoff yesterday. And like, I'm ready for this to end and get more spinoffs because they've built a wonderful universe. The whole theory of the Upside Down is amazing. My question about the Upside Down, is it a timestamp from the moment that the Upside Down was created in that instant? Or is it ever changing? Or does Vecna add more to it? Right? I think it's a timestamp when it was made personally. When it was made. But you know, for like in season 4, for Dustin and Eddie to go into his bedroom and find his guitar up there and his amp and everything in the Upside Down. Like, do I know the release schedule for volumes of season 5? Yes. So today, obviously, yesterday we had the first 4 episodes. Episode 5 through 8 drop on Christmas, and then the last episode drops on New Year's Day. I have a theory why Henry is scared of the cave. Drop it. Drop it on us. Let me hear what you think. The ending was tough. Yes, but here's the thing about the ending being so badass. The ending being a badass is setting us up for failure too. Because like we get a loss and then we get a victory for the good guys. Right? Like we have a small victory here. But that what happens in a show of this magnitude is what will happen immediately after this is we're going to get back to reality and start some flaming losses. Yeah, move it somewhere for me, buddy. Okay, buddy. Thank you. Where'd your mama go? Oh, she's still in there? Okay. She could have hung it up for me. Tell your mama to hang it up for me. That guitar's worth more than I am. Any death predictions? Everybody else and myself agree that it's going to be Hopper and Steve. And I'm still thinking that Nancy's dad's going to bite it. The mama's here to stay, but Nancy's dad, I think, is going to get some revenge. You're gonna watch your stream to see your reaction to these scenes. So I've already watched the scenes, Matt. This is me talking and processing what I've watched. Me and my wife watched them straight through because with me streaming video games as my source of income for the last 6 years, it's very hard for me to not have things spoiled for me because people come in here and they will do it out of spite and I'll never see them again. Yeah, that's fine. I do think Netflix is going to lose viewers after that last episode of Stranger Things. Well, I mean, that's the way TV shows go, but they're going to make a shitload of money before then. How did I find the new season? Fantastic. 8's the finale. Okay. In the first Shadow play, Henry first went to the Dimension X as a child by finding some of Brenner's equipment that connects to the Dimension X in the cave in Nevada. That's where he got his powers. Yeah. That might be. What I'm hoping is there's something scarier than Vecna out there. But the thing is Vecna in Dungeons and Dragons is written to be the end all be all. He's the guy. He's unkillable. So maybe he'll reincarnate or something, or you know what I mean? He may get away. I heard you say Eddie will come back. How? Eddie, I'll explain. Give me just a moment. I need to elaborate further on this. What's my favorite season? I'm 38 years old. I was born in 87, and the 80s culture very much stayed alive through the mid 90s. So season 1 hit really close to home for me. But this season's shaping up to be absolutely amazing. It's such a payoff, isn't it? What do you guys think? What would you rate this season 1 to 10, like so far, these first 4 episodes? The animated show. My problem with the animated show is that it's like, I would much rather see the actors play it out. What's my theory on the wall? Well, Vecna has a dragon in D&D, and we haven't seen it yet. So there's a dragon back there. He's making an ultimate weapon. Now I know this, but I need to find a way to word it. So I'm going to use ChatGPT to help me explain how, let's see, who, yeah, let's see, in D&D, who would Eddie in Stranger Things come back as based on D&D lore? All right, let's see. If Eddie Munson were to come back in Dungeons & Dragons terms based on D&D lore, the most accurate match is a Revenant, a supernatural warrior returned to dead on unfinished business. Let's see. No, this is not what. It's a vampire character. Hang on. No, hang on. This is wrong. This is too much. This is too much of a thing. Eddie returns season 5 vampire theory. Okay, here we go. Google's got me. A popular fan theory suggests Eddie Munson could return in Stranger Things season 5 as a vampire, similar to the Dungeons and Dragons character Cass the Bloody Handed. This theory speculates because his body was left in the Upside Down, he could be resurrected by Vecna to serve as his vampire lieutenant, drawing a connection from the demobats that bit him and the mythological links to bats and vampires. However, the Duffer Brothers have stated Eddie will not return, although some fans believe a transformed version would technically not be Eddie and can still appear. All right? Now, here's the thing. Eddie used a shield. Right? Eddie used a shield. Cass the Bloody Handed kills Vecna. Oh, I see. Instead, their battle resulted in both of them being defeated, with it. Vecna losing an eye and a hand to Cass. Cass banished. Cass sword and Vecna credit for him. Let's see. I thought otherwise. After years of service, Cass betrayed Vecna using the powerful sword Vecna had given him to attack his master. The fight was cataclysmic, destroying Vecna's tower and leaving behind only the hand and eye of Vecna as the sword of Cass's remnants. Vecna's fate. Vecna was severely wounded but survived, losing his hand and eye to Cass. Cass's fate. Cass was defeated in the battle and banished to the astral plane, though some accounts suggest he was also transformed into a vampire during this time. So, maybe he doesn't kill him. He severely wounds Vecna. Shield and spear, thank you. Yes. Yes, you can. Okay. Ted's in a coma, correct. Will and Elle are 1,000% dying. No. No, I no. I think Will and Elle, like if anybody, Will would, but Elle's not. The reason why I defend 11 not dying is because 11 has been portrayed as childlike as possible. Even in this season so far, she's spoken a little bit more childlike. Like she's already portrayed as somebody who's just innocent, but she has been subjected to horrible things. You get what I'm saying? My favorite character is Dustin, by the way. Who's y'all's favorite character? Yeah, Callie's dead. For sure. Number 8 is dead. She will be dead. She doesn't have any ties to anybody. She'll die for the cause. But there's a lot to look forward to, guys. I think Eddie was meant to symbolize who Dustin wanted Steve to be for him at the time. They reminded me of the old Odd Donut. Yeah. Yes. That's a good take, Ember Flower. I don't like that Steve and Dustin were beefing. Well, they're both giving each other tough love, but Steve was giving... I think people are looking at Steve the wrong way so far. I think people are looking at Steve the wrong way. Just because he said things we didn't like to the character doesn't mean he was wrong. Because the way that Dustin was behaving was very dangerous for Dustin. He was standing up for Eddie, but like, did he really have to go through that right then? But at the same time, Dustin's passionate about his friend. He's trying to stand up for that. But there is a chance to prove Eddie's innocence. You know what I mean? Steve is standing on business with Jonathan and Dustin. He told Jonathan to his face, basically, he'd take his girl if he didn't straighten up. And that was the only shot. Like, he didn't have to do that. He probably, he could have done it. So everybody's pulling for Jonathan to get with him. Even Steve is. He said the only person more miserable in this relationship is her. It's like, God, dude. Yeah, but you know what I mean? But it's not Jonathan's fault completely. Jonathan had to go across country to protect his brother and his best friend. You know what I mean? Like, he was the chaperone to Steve and Mike and 11. You know what I mean? So, like, what do you do? And sure, he partaked in the marijuana a lot, but like, look at his mama. Like, he didn't have a whole lot going on, but that doesn't change who he was in the other seasons. You know what I mean? And I think people forget that. Like, things just, these things happen, but not everybody got a whole lot of limelight in season 4. Basically, the entire crew that went out west just didn't have that much going on for them. Like, they didn't really get to do much until 11 got into the freezer with all the salt at the pizza shop. And she did the long range thing to fight Vecna to save Max. Nova, I've already watched it. This is me live reacting to what I've already saw. So you can talk spoilers as much as you want in chat. I've already watched it. Yeah, the piggyback episode. That was awesome. You just finished it. What'd you think? Also, if you guys are new here, press that follow button, please. Press that sub button on YouTube. Yeah. Robin had really good scenes, and she shows that why she is basically acting royalty in that show. Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke are her parents. I did Spec. Yes. Spec5264 asked, did you finish all 4 episodes? I sure did. I loved it. The shit was absolutely crazy. You know what the best part is, though, guys? And very seldom does this happen in a TV show. Every scene in the show, in every episode so far, had meaning. None of it was filler. 0% of any of those episodes was filler. Everything that they were doing mattered. Even Murray bringing things over and smuggling things in mattered. All of it mattered. Everything they did mattered. Will 11 and 8 and Max. I think Max is going to have powers. Carmelito. The whole love triangle thing, it'll get resolved. It just sucks not knowing, doesn't it? Me too, EC McGee. Ethan Hawke. So that's Ethan Hawke was like Black Phone. Who was he in Moon Knight? I don't think he. That's starts with the O. Oscar Isaac. No, Max is coming back. Max is coming back. He was in Moon Knight. He was the villain. Did he not? I haven't seen it, so please forgive me for speaking out of turn. He played the villain. Okay, my bad. I see. I didn't watch it, and they were talking about not bringing it back, so it's like my bad. Why do you think Vecna meant by Will? You show me the potential. It could mean two things. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I think that it truly means, and then what it could also mean. The true potential, what he meant by Will, is that he showed what was possible in establishing his presence in the Upside Down. Because think about what just transpired when he said that. He walked out, he ate gunshots, he killed a whole lot of people, and he walked back like nothing happened, and he stole a bunch of kids. So he got more power because of Will. He just didn't expect Will to get powers from him. But again, it could be one of those things. Now, the other side of that is if maybe instead of Vecna resurrecting all these people to fight for him, he may just use Will to fight for him. But I don't think so. I felt like after watching the first Shadow recap, I understood a lot of things before the characters. Do you think these will come into play? I already know that they have the cave part. I haven't actually seen that. I do need to see that. I didn't really understand the Max story so far. Can someone explain? I can explain. Max didn't come back to consciousness. She was in a coma after. So Max's death is what caused the rift in Hawkins to happen, and for all the portals to be able to be opened up at will. Not the name Will, but at the purpose Will. That made it possible for him to even walk freely amongst the right side up. But the reason she didn't die was because of 11. She kept her alive, and the Kate Bush song kept her from going to the other side too. So Lucas and 11 kept her around. But because she's stuck in the limbo and the prison that where all the other consciousness of other people goes to, apparently, whenever Vecna's done with them, she's still in there, but she found a way to get away from him by hiding in a cave that Vecna's afraid of. That's, you know, in this other plane. I've already watched all the episodes. This is everybody freely talking about them. Thoughts on Holly as a character? She's there for emotional weight. We needed somebody to care about, similar to us caring about Will in season 1. Not that she's a bad character or anything, but like, I love that Nancy and Mike admitted that they should have told their family. And I felt like Joyce could have, and Hopper could have done more for that too. But there's a lot of it too that's like, you don't know who you can trust telling this because the military's got their grubby hands all over it in this show too. What do you think Robin is doing to Will? Being a good friend? Helping him understand how he feels about himself? But, you know, either both of them hilariously somehow become in a relationship, which I highly doubt it, because they failed, you know, like, it's clear Robin is failing her partner, and I don't think that Mike is going to leave 11. So then there's just going to be those two. You know what I mean? Oh, no Kid Hunter sings. I need to see that then. What was it you watched so I can go watch that? Max is going to be in Spider-Man? Yeah, I'm ready for all these actors to reap the benefits of their efforts. It was referenced that someone would have the most gruesome death. So who do we think will end up being? Hopper. Hopper will get it. And he'll do it with a smile on his face the whole time he's going down. He won't wince. He'll take somebody with him. He'll be, you know what I mean? That's just who Hopper is. If it's not Hopper, it's Steve. Can we just talk about how everyone was shit talk episode 6, season 2, Lost Sister, when I was saying it wasn't going to be important? I mean, Rachel, the thing is, the Duffer Brothers don't, like, they went back and covered a lot of their mistakes. They sure did. But that's the beauty in their writing. They left themselves some wiggle room to correct some things. What happened to Dr. Owens? I don't think it's been shown yet, has he? Max wants Holly to go back to make sure that Vecna doesn't find out about her plan to escape. Oh, that you're talking about that? Yeah. We'll see that happens. If Hopper dies, I'm uninstalling Netflix. Well, then don't finish the show. Hopper's dead. Like, if you can't see Hopper doing what he needs to do to make sure, like, Hopper is essential for 2 reasons. He's lost his only child, and he's got another chance to save his child in 11, and he knows the stakes. He is ready to throw his life down for 11 at any time. And with the enemy that they're facing in Vecna, Hopper will do it gladly with a smile on, just to make sure 11 gets a chance at life. So that, like, please don't look at it as like, oh, he's dead, this is stupid. Look at it as him as a character. How am I sure? Because he's had fake deaths. They've already teased you with the idea, so we planted, like, you've already experienced what it could be like losing him. You get what I'm saying? This is just like Glenn in the dumpster in Walking Dead, and then Negan beat the utter living shit out of him with a baseball bat. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I'm looking at this chat like you're standing right here. Yeah. Papa's been murdered, but Dr. Owens is still very much around. Yeah. Like, he was willing to go in there and blow up the whole base just to make sure he got Vecna with, like, dynamite strapped to his chest. Why would they recreate it? Like, I've already explained this to you. Just get over it and realize that Hopper's going to die. That'll make it so much easier. Look at his heroism. People lay their lives down for people, like in real life stories, in real life situations. This is for the love of a child that only he can protect the way that he can. Does that make sense? Why did Vecna give Will a moderator? Could Enzo come back? Enzo and Murray are kind of like, it's kind of like the Avengers. They'll show up. Rewatch season 2 if you don't know who the girl was with all the tubes. Enzo will be back though. I mean, they wouldn't have that. Didn't Sullivan die in episode 4? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. No, they didn't. He was on fire. I don't know if he's dead though. Yeah, Tiny Diamond. Like, a lot of people are so ready to be mad at a show if their favorite character dies, but like, you got to realize, if everybody makes it to the end of this story, it's going to suck because it will be too safe. If you don't know, I've published a book, and people die in that book. That's just the way that it goes. Spoiler alert: everyone in this chat room at one point in their life will die. It's just, what are you going to die for or doing? Or what will you have accomplished? Hopper wants to accomplish protecting his second child in 11. Am I like, and he will be grinning and bearing, like the way that he killed those soldiers with those grenades on that episode. He was like, and the fact that 11, my wife cackled. 11 broke somebody's neck with her telekinesis and didn't even flinch at the idea of it. She said sorry. Killed somebody with a thought. Can we just talk about that for a second? She can leap buildings. Richard. It makes for damn good TV, yes. You think Steve's going to survive season 5? It's not looking like it. I would very much like for Steve to make it, though. Hopper's not. But I don't know. It's still out for Steve, for Jonathan, for Nancy, for Mike, for Will, for Robin. Robin and Steve and Hopper are on the watch list. Hello, Lucy. What'd you think? Isn't Nate bad at Elle for how Elle left him? Well, we'll find out. Vecna has a crush on Will. He's just shy. Yeah. Sure. I don't know. I'm really happy. What do you guys, if you had to have a closing statement, like was there any things that you didn't like about these first episodes? The only thing for me was the plot armor, a little bit. The portrayal of him interacting with some of these people. I think Vecna is Will's father. Wouldn't that be absolutely amazing? But didn't they hint at his dad though being a drunkard or something? The love triangle? It's not really a love triangle though, is it? Is it though? It's more of a man crush. Or are you talking about Steve? Oh, never mind. There's actually 2 love triangles if you think about it. Jonathan, Steve, and Nancy, and then Mike, 11, and Will. It's a love hexagon. Yeah. Did they never go over his dad? I thought in season 1 they called him when he was first went missing. Yeah, that's right, Lucy. You're right. The man had a chance to take over. No. The thing is about Vecna showing up and staying in the Upside Down for so long. Like, I don't think that his power is infinite. He did what he needed to do, but he still has things that he has to accomplish with the souls or whatever of those children and the ritual that he's got to do. He came back for the insurance money. That's right. You're right. What if that was his real dad, though? No, it totally is. What the fuck is the wall? The wall is, there's going to be a dragon behind it. They're brewing something behind it. But the biggest question I have is 11 asking about them peeing on the wall. Is he going to pee the wall down? Is pee the secret weapon? I think 8 with 8 being back, they were using her to stop 11 because the military thinks 11 is behind it all. There's a good chance of that. They don't understand it. They call her the Freak, and they've already got them, like, radicalized to go after 11. You think Steve and Jonathan will have another fight? No. No, Steve is like, he is, like, charismatic, chauvinistic at times, and a little bit of a narcissist, but he's not an asshole like that. Steve stands on business, and he always has. He was an asshole in season 1, though, but he's grown since then. I think Steve has had one of the best character transformations in that whole show. Closing statement overall, it was really good. However, in the Sorcerer episode, when they brought 8 back, it made me mad because, in my opinion, the episode she was introduced was not... Season 2 is the worst season of Stranger Things. But the thing is a lot of people forget that whenever they introduce characters from previous seasons in a show, they have an opportunity to make and, like, validate everything that transpired in said seasons. So they can rectify a lot of the problems and elaborate on more. It gives them an opportunity to flesh out some of the story that maybe wasn't delivered on the best terms, but it's something that they're standing on by bringing them back. Because I would much rather them bring back 8 and show what more can be done with that story than to just leave it as a plot hole. Because plot holes will be there forever. Max has been chilling in 1959 for a while. It makes you wonder how much time has actually passed for her. Nancy had an amazing arc, yes. Still hoping Mama comes back with an important role. Can't remember her name. You talking about Mike and Nancy and Holly's mom and dad? I think Nancy's dad's still going to bite it. Because he's been a dunce. His parents have kind of been... they had a funny line feeding everybody breakfast, you know. Clearly they have been the stability in the storm. But for the life of me, I don't understand like why they didn't tell them about what was going on, why they were all there. It's crazy how Joyce knew Vecna. I can't wait to see that fleshed out too. I hope Max finds her way out, but I'm also scared she'll still be blind. I mean, I don't want her to be blind, but I think if she was and she had a different sight, that'd be neat. You know what I mean? I don't want anybody to be blind, but if they played it off. But the thing is she's definitely not. She's definitely not stuck. What was it? Let's see, Stranger Things. The episode title for episode 6 is Escape from Camazotz. Electrolytes that bring down the wall because the whole purpose of bringing in the Gatorade this season? Yeah. No, it's going to be ammonia from all the pee-pee. You're very happy? You should be, Kate. Hey, okay, Grant, thanks for being here. Anybody who's been here, listen, my YouTube is absolutely popping off. If you could press that subscribe button, I cover a lot of stuff like this every day. I stream horror games, sci-fi games, published author. If you are interested in checking out a book, it's called The Second Death. It's a zombie novel that I made this year. I peaked at number 6 on Amazon. I'll show you what it looks like if you're interested. Oh yeah, that's Keanu Reeves. Oh my God, that's so bright. If you'd like to check it out, you can read the first 8 chapters for free. This is not me promoting like for you to buy anything, but if you're interested, there it is. There it is. Electrolytes are also in pee. That's true, but ammonia is funnier because it stinks. Do you think willpowers will be gone in volume 2? No, they wouldn't show a badass transformation of Will like that if they weren't going to make it a static thing. So he went from being a pawn on the chessboard to being like a rook. He's very powerful, but 11 is very much the queen. Is Stranger Things your favorite series? I think the best series of television ever made is a toss-up between Breaking Bad or season 1 of True Detective on HBO. If you've ever seen season 1 of True Detective, that's probably one of the best stories ever told in the series. Breaking Bad is amazing. But Stranger Things, if they wrap it up really nice, it will be number 1. Without a doubt. If they got to seal the deal. They have to. They have to nail that landing. Very much unlike Game of Thrones did. They could very much screw this up. Were you alive when this time era was around? I was born in 1987 in March. So, sort of. I was an infant. Okay. What year was everybody in chat born? What about Prison Break? Never seen it. I won't stay. No spoilers for me. Gotcha, buddy. Here's the best part about all this shit, guys, is the 80s were the best time to write stories like this because a cell phone would fix a lot of the problems. '83. The first Shadow play? Oh yeah, the play. Yeah. That was my kiddo. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Wanna come up here? Wanna say hello to everybody on the internet?
Mama.
Mama, what?
Okay.
Here go what? This? Controller? Oh, okay, you can play with it. You missed a lot. 2012? Oh my God. Her name is Sabrina, everybody. She slept the whole time we watched the show, so I'm going to be up all night with her. Mama's got a headache, so she's going to be going to bed soon. I'm going to stay up with her. I've got 3 daughters. See, look at that. Isn't that crazy already? I live in India. What's this?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. One more time.
Yay.
Yeah. Yay. Yay. Yay.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. All right, buddy. Can I have it back? Yeah. Babies love just doing the same thing over and over and over. Does she have powers? Yes. The ability to shit her pants to the brim at will. Yes. She's very powerful. And she has the ability to give the best hugs. Mwah. Yeah, I don't know, man. What do you think of Will tackling Derek?
Mama.
I mean, staying on business. I think my favorite scene though of all the episodes, I know this is probably not a lot of people's, but Veronica stabbing that girl in the neck with the syringe when they were taking over the rich people's house, Derek's house. My wife laughed her ass off.
Yeah.
I told you to eat the damn pie.
I told you to eat the damn pie. Yeah. Is her name Veronica? Erica. Here, you can play with that. Hang on. Let me turn it off. Yeah, it was a good time. Here you go. Erica was funny as shit. She's a scene stealer as an actress. She commandeers the room. But the thing is I'm afraid she's going to be typecasted into that intellect role because of how well she played this. Kenzie, it was great, wasn't it? Yeah, I meant to call her Erica, yeah, but I called her Veronica. She looks like a Veronica more than an Erica. Okay, no, don't touch that one. I don't know how Will and Mike's gonna go, so I feel like Mike is gonna reject him and Will's gonna pop his eyes out. No, Mike. Will understand. I don't think the thing is I think people are gonna paint Will as emotionally stupid because of how if he's gonna get rejected or whatever. No, we're not playing Arc Raiders. She turned on Arc Raiders. No, we're not playing Arc Raiders. How did you do that? How did you turn on Arc Raiders, buddy? Hang on, buddy. Hang on. Let me see it. Here you go. Why do Will have to get powers? What do you mean have to? I'm talking to people, baby. What do you mean why? If you couldn't see that Will was getting powers from season 1, then I'm sorry, you're watching the wrong show. Derek smacking all the kids in the head with the ruler. Yeah. Oh man, that was funny. Y'all's crazy. I don't know, man. How imagine the whole Will Mike thing is going. Will's going to be dying and confessing his feeling to Mike at 11, and Mike is still going to stay strong. Maybe, but even if Will doesn't have to die for that to happen. Uh-oh. We'll go down there and get it. The season is so out there, for some reason it works. The reason it works is that they built the layers of the story correctly. Everything, hang on. You're tangled up. There we go. Everything tangled up for you, buddy. Everything was built up just right. You know what the budget Netflix have the Duffer Brothers for season 5 was? What was the budget? Guys, if you're new here, press that sub button. $400 million? No way. Really? No way. $400 million? Good for them. I guess no one cares about Ted Wheeler. I do. I want him to get redemption. He's been made to look like a Ponzi. The pacing is too fast? No, dude. Yeah, I disagree, don't you? I disagree. I think it was paced appropriately. You got to think about it. We got 5 seasons of this. Now, my question, guys. Raw power? I still think 11 is probably stronger than Will, but I think Will, under the emotion that he was under, probably peaked and was the match powers with 11. Because think about what happened to 11. 11 was like a test tube kind of like child, if you think about it. Not really, but you know what I mean? She was raised in a lab, etc. Will was given things to, you know, he was used as a vessel to, no, dude, you got to stop, man. Stop. No. You better not end my stream. You want Will to be evil? No, that ain't happening. Here, sit over here on this side, away from all my expensive things.
Mama.
I have to watch her because Mama Bear's not feeling the best right now. Vecna has COVID? No, he doesn't. Anyway, my train of thought. I don't remember what I was talking about. Ted Wheeler. I want to see Ted get revenge. I want to see Ted go out with a bang because he's a doofus. Wait till Ted gets his powers. Yeah. Episode 7 is supposed to be 112 minutes, while the last episode is almost 200 minutes. Yep. I'm ready for it, dude. It's the best show on TV right now. But Ted needs a death. I don't want Nancy to not have a father or anything, but like him dying in a like a badass way or something would be way more interesting than what he's done. But then again, he's not failing as a parent or anything. But they're very much accurate to 80s parents from what I could see. The thing is, though, it's like he's just one of those wallet dads. He just throws money at all of his problems. You know what I mean? Nancy didn't even check on him in the hospital. I swear, dude, I know. They didn't even check on their dad. So maybe that's his fate, just to be second-rate parent. Well, that's crazy to say this, but I wish somebody kind of died in the first 4 episodes. I know it's wrong to say, but I was 100% expecting Murray to die. But if you want my honest opinion, I feel like the amount of military personnel that died fighting a handful of Demogorgons spoke louder than somebody actually taking a death that had character arcs in the show. But I think the portrayal of plot armor was a bit too much for me. Like, Vecna stabs holes in people's skulls, uses his tentacles to puncture people's bodies, pulls pins on grenades. Joyce shows up. I'm going to throw you gently across the room. Like, but we'll find out how deep Joyce and him go. Vecna, let me spare Will. Yeah, ducky. There's a ducky. Quack, quack. Yeah. Yeah. We'll find out why he spared Joyce, I think. Hopper's not going to die. You full of shit. Hopper's dead. Hopper's dead. My favorite thing to tell people is Hopper's dead. David Harbour's going to kill it in that scene too. It'll be an Emmy performance when he goes down. Dustin and Jonathan are dead for sure. No. Steve will be dead before Dustin.
Mama. My good.
Yeah, buddy. Here, look at this. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, man, it's G-O-N-E gone. Second-rate parents is definitely an 80s trope, yeah. You've seen maybe 2 episodes of Stranger Things. This is your opportunity. Go watch it because you'll forget about everything that I've said. You'll forget about everything that I've said, and it's all going to be new. It's either Steve or Hopper getting that most brutal death, but I'd rather it be Hopper. Steve living would be nice. The actor who played Steve said that I think everybody's going to be happy with what happens to Steve. But he could be troubling. He could be, trying to hide the fact that he gets exploded with a mine grenade. Last episode, make it channel points for everyone you think will die. We'll do that before New Year's. I hate the fact of Hopper dying since he finally got the family he needed. Well, I mean, that does suck. But, again, nobody's going to come and stand between. Like, 11 has nobody else than Mike. So, when you're thinking about what 11 is facing in Vecna as an enemy, who else would make the ultimate sacrifice to make sure that she's okay?
Yeah.
Yay! Nobody but Hopper. I wonder who's the strongest out of Will, 11, and 8. We'll find out. I feel like it's still 11 because of her training, but raw power, I feel like it might be Will. What episode do you think they do the dragon reveal? Not episode 5, but episode 6. I think episode 5 is them licking their wounds, figuring out what new episodes. They may reveal it at the end of Shock Jockey. Will killed 3 Demogorgons at the same time, telepathically, remotely. Oh yeah, that whole scene was hilarious. They killed it. I think I can say, for the sake of the internet, I'm probably going to wrap up here in just a second, guys. It's 2:30 in the morning for me. I think I can say, for the sake of the internet, that what we've been given in this gift called Stranger Things is an accurate portrayal of what sci-fi should look like from the 80s. And the way that TV shows will be viewed in the future for what a retro form of entertainment should look like. That's got star power. It's nailing the plot. It's nailing the theme. Like, the soundtrack's pure fire. It's got one of the best intros ever. Like the theme songs. Everything is perfect. So, in order for us to have a show like this to come out and stand out, this is the new standard for, like, must-see TV. Like, I like me some Walking Dead, but I never heard of AMC spending $300 million for a season of The Walking Dead. Yeah, they went back and filled a lot of plot holes, Joey. They really did. Because, like, there's a lot of scenes that were reintroduced from to season 1 to make Vecna a threat, because it was just kind of like they weren't sure how they were going to do it. There's people on the internet that swear that their Blu-rays or their DVDs of season 1 didn't have, like, the clock noises of Vecna in the first season, and that Netflix went back and re-added them. I don't have a reference point for that, but that argument is still being made to this day that they went back and added it. Derek's character's funny, dude. And I love that Joyce was the one to reach through to him. Joyce, like, it's funny. My wife said it. For Winona Ryder to have no kids, she plays a mom so well. It just depends on when you got him, Maroni Henshin. It really depends on when you got them. Like, if you got them right after season 1 was done, then you'll have the version that wasn't edited. So saith the internet. Is the new Frankenstein good? It's great. It's great. It's really good. Netflix has been winning here lately. Oh man, Roroni Henshin, would you tell me whether or not, if you go back and rewatch it, I think it's episode 1. Everyone hated season 2. It's nice for them to go back and cover those plot holes. I can't say that I hated it, but I very much didn't enjoy it as much as season 1 and 3. You know what I mean? I get what you're saying though. You know what? Thank you guys. There's a shitload of people that's subbing for me. Thank you for that. This is the kind of momentum my channel needed on YouTube. I have a fantastic follow group on Twitch. Hardcore people that's been with me since like day one from Facebook and all that stuff. So if you like coming and talking, like, come back. I make this plea because there's a lot of places you can be on the internet that are much worse off, but I try to remember as much things as I can about my audience. I try my best to have an honest to goodness conversation with everybody. You got bored a lot in season 4? The only thing that was boring per se with season 4 was how the parties were split up across country, but plot wise, I get why they did it. They referenced that in the episode, didn't they, Nate? What did I have for lunch today? Well, what have I eaten today at all? I've snacked all day. I ate a rice cup, and I've just snacked because tomorrow's a big day. Oh, yeah. Munch on chicken, yeah. But that episode was bad enough that it brought the whole season down. Because that was more or less kind of like a payoff episode, and it was like, what? Is this what we were building towards? But again, with them being reintroduced in season 5, we may get a chance to get some things fleshed out to make it less bad. Yeah, Nate. I'm feeling that. Thank you, Munch on Chicken. You had Euros? You what? Dude, you asked me that question just to tell me what you had. You shut up! All right, guys. I hope y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. The producers said they were laughing at people believing Eddie's coming back. They said that he's 6 feet under. Eddie's dead, but not Cass. Just wait. If he doesn't come back, I'll be okay. But man, and when he does, we're gonna shit, right? But I'm gonna wrap up, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me and talking about everything we just watched. It was 5 hours or whatever of just wonderful TV. What even is the last theory? What do you mean by that? Barbara's going to have powers. Barbara will be a vessel of Vecna. Yes. Barbara will be a weapon. Very much. 100%. But happy Thanksgiving to you guys. We may do another discussion to this tomorrow. But please sub if you haven't, and I will see you guys on the next one. Much love to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. I'll be live tomorrow night once all the festivities wraps up. We're going to probably do some either 1v4 or on Dead by Daylight. But I feel like I need to play the Demogorgon now. Bob's going to kill Vecna. You come back and tell me when that happens, okay? Take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. Go to bed, you bastards. See you guys.